The Iron Lords are noble and mysterious. In the early days of the Dark Age, they would scavenge the wilds of Earth for lost Golden Age secrets and technology. One lord in particular was very interested in Clovis Bray Corporation and Siva. Today, we discuss a new tale involving this Iron Lord, his apprentice, and how they took down a wish dragon that tempted them with Golden Age secrets. In the new book Dragon Slayers from this season, which has a bunch of different stories about Ahamkara, today we take a look at the Iron Lord's tale, which dives into Lord Timur, his apprentice Clovis, and their battles with an Ahamkara. Lord Timur wades forward into the shallow pool that rings the islet, listening attentively to the rhythmic lapping of the water. There is a gentle artifice at work here. Each step he takes, however clumsy, stirs a repeating, too-perfect echo of the same small noise. A recording, or an isolated memory, a mimetic transmission cued to overwrite every other sound in the vicinity. He wonders if the last poor villager to come this way wished for peace and quiet. The sound starts again. Timur turns. The Ahamkara lunges at him from the side, its glistening bulk emerging from a span of water too shallow to have ever contained it. Through a shower of black-green liquid, Timur sees its wedge-shaped maw split open like a flower. Into all that displaced pond water, Timur summons Void. A row of cavitation bubbles bursts along the underside of the Ahamkara in a cascading shockwave of pale violet fire. It unseams the Ahamkara at the joints, and Timur's lungs nearly cave in. What's left of the Ahamkara crawls to the edge of the islet, panting raggedly. Timur bends to slap once, experimentally, at the surface of the lake. He hears the alarm call of a bird from deeper in the trees. Closer by, he hears Lord Clovis call his name. Timur wades closer to the Ahamkara. "Don't you want to know if you're right?" The dragon snickers even as it dies. "Don't you want to ask me about Clovis Bray? Don't you want to know?" He resents the question. "I know I'm right," Timur says. But he does want to know. He wants to ask, and badly. He wants during the entire time he waits for the creature to expire. By the end, he has to bite down on his tongue. He is seated on the bank, tipping sludge out of his boots, when Lord Clovis catches up with him. "I called out to you," Lord Clovis says. His student sounds equal parts apologetic and sullen. Perhaps he wanted to fell the beast himself. "I know," Lord Timur replies. "I had it handled." He lets fondness warm his tone. He'll let Clovis tell the village that their great beast has been slain and bask in the gratitude that follows. Timur's mind is already elsewhere. There is so much more important work to return to, a future to construct from nothing. Let Nirwin and her ilk obsess over their bestiaries. "Did you talk to it?" Lord Clovis asks. "It mentioned Clovis Bray," Timur doesn't say. The taste of copper fills his mouth. "No." They walk back in silence. Lord Clovis was a dedicated warlock and member of the Iron Wolves, who notably admired and studied under Lord Timur. Timur was an Iron Lord, known for his research into the mysterious nanotechnology Siva. He's the one responsible for finding it and reporting it to others like Saladin back in the day. Clovis's relationship with Timur was marked by deep respect and dedication as he assisted in Timur's research and quests, but it was also strained by his growing concern over Timur's obsession with Clovis Bray and his eventual descent into madness. This complex dynamic between mentor and student highlights the intertwining of loyalty, intellectual pursuit, and ethical dilemmas within this pair and some of the Iron Lord relationships. Clovis was a student and followed Timur through these mysteries. Would make an interesting Jedi-like movie for sure. Clovis, like most other Iron Lords, died in the Plague Lands thanks to Rasputin. In Ghost Fragment Dark Age 3 from the Journals of Lord Clovis, we see Timur's obsession with Clovis and Siva. What does one do when one's master has gone mad? I admired the man for so long, poured years of study into his leads, but now he has grown incapable of focus. I have followed his latest missives on Siva, and it is flooded with mania. Whatever he thinks this Clovis Bray might hold would make you believe that they were the only entity of any technical know-how, that they owned every piece of that tarnished golden age. I write this because I fear none of the others knows or senses it. He has been so thorough, so right until now. Something snapped, infected him, turned him against his own sense of logic and reason. And here I am, left behind to tend the fires and the ironwood tree in this budding city, while everyone rushes at his promises of another wonder from yesterday. But I ask you, traveler, did you cleanse us from these technological disasters to prove we had gone astray? The light you raised us with points far away from the trappings of a possessed earth to a nebulous power far beyond the stars. Had we done wrong, and this is how you hope to correct us? We, the light, to lead the way? It must be, but even your shattered hall seems like a designed system. Lord Timur has notes upon notes on your runes. Perhaps that is where his madness began. I wonder how long it will be until he thinks you were made by Clovis Bray. In the Transfiguration lore card, which came out in Season of the Deep, we learn that other Iron Lords fought these Ahamkara. In this card, Saladin wishes to fight a dragon, so this Ahamkara forms into a dragon that breathes fire and gives him the fight he wishes for. Aphrodite's sort of in the back chilling using her rifle, but Saladin's like, nah, I'm gonna use my axe instead, until the thing melts and he's forced to fight through other means. Why in the Traveler's Crack did you wish to fight an actual dragon, old man? Saladin Forge grinned inside his helmet. The enormous worm towered above them, bleeding wounds covering its gleaming scales as it reared up for another breath. The massive axe in his hands was dented, scarred, and melted at the tip, but it still held an edge. We are knights, Lady Aphrodite. Do you not want to be a dragon slayer? He charged, his words could barely be heard over the creature's cry. We are what we survive. So Guardians, there you have some stories about Lord Timur, Clovis, his apprentice, and their journeys through Golden Age technology. The new card I read is also nice because it sort of ties in the Dark Age with the Ahamkara and some of the battles that the Iron Lords faced, much like the one in the new dungeon. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.